What is up guys, and welcome to my latest video here on SP Vids. As you can see today I have the SP404 Mark II on the table, but what I will say about this video is that you don't necessarily need to be on this device, and this is just kind of a general beat making thing that I'm going to explain today. I'm just going to use this device for demonstration purposes, but yeah, hopefully whatever you make beats on, this should apply. So what I want to talk about today is a feature of this device and other devices as well, which I'm really trying to get out of the habit of using, and that is quantization or quantize. I'm really trying to get away from it, especially with my drums. Now, I think in particular with my drums, to be honest. And there's a number of different reasons for this. So let me explain. I think personally, putting things on the grid and using quantize is really sending me down a certain path which I don't want to be going down. So it's this really rigid, really kind of formulaic way of putting drums down. I really want to get away from it because I think it takes all the character out of your playing, and I think it just sounds pretty dull as well. So some of the big producers that I'm inspired by, you can hear that they're always trying to go off the grid and make things sound a little bit more interesting. So that's exactly what I've been trying to do. So on the pattern mode, for example, I'm still going to use the looping functionality of it, but I'm just really trying to avoid using quantize on any of the drums whatsoever. So in the past, I kind of used to use it just on the hi-hats to get that in time, and then I could play around with the snare and the kick over the top without quantize and get some kind of funky effects with that. But really now I've just taken it a step further and I'm just trying to completely not use it whatsoever. So we've got pattern mode here, and I'm going to show you this example. This is a loop I've made with complete quantization on all of the particular drums in this. So the kick, the snare and the hi-hat, they all have quantize on, and you can hear how rigid this is. So you can hear there's no flavor, there's no character in that whatsoever. And like I say, this can apply to anything. So even on Ableton, on a DAW, FL Studio, anything like that, or any device, if you're just going to stick to quantize like this, it's going to sound characterless, emotionless, and very, very rigid. So that's what I'm really trying to get away from. Even playing that outside of pattern mode. So let's say, for example, we just played that beat. It's quite easy to throw in a little bit of character there, and I think this is really important to get character into your drum loops because it's kind of what defines your sound. Why would you want to rely on a computer to put the sounds on the grid for you? Because that takes all of the character that you could be putting into these beats away, and I just think it's the wrong way to go about things. So if I'm just finger drumming along like this, okay, a few double hits there, but you're going to get sounds that are a bit earlier, you're going to get sounds that are a bit later. That's just part of being human. We're not always going to be on the grid perfectly. So we're still going to use a metronome, but we're just going to try and let our natural flow, our natural rhythm take control. So I'm going to jump into the pattern mode now. We've got 80 BPM set up, and I'm going to try a loop with no quantization or quantize whatsoever. And we're just going to listen to the metronome. So I've set my metronome to be 2 bars, which you can do by using Shift and 9. That's going to give me more of an idea of the tempo. It's going to lock me into the tempo. So we'll go ahead, we'll press record, and we'll go into pattern mode, and we'll try something without any quantize. You can see here on the screen, 2 bars, the grid, we're going to set that to off completely, so there's nothing going on here. And let's give it a go. So to be honest, my timing's pretty good in that one. I seem to have done quite well, but there is a little bit of variation in the tempo of the hi-hats, which I really like. I like getting that kind of loose and drunk sound in the hi-hats. We're not using any micro timing here at all. We're not using anything. We're just relying on our own personal clocks to be able to put this down. And don't forget as well, if you make a mistake, you can just try again. You can try over and over again. And if you've already got samples as well, say you've got a sample pattern laid down, just make a copy of it, try some drums over it. If it doesn't work, delete it and take another copy. You can just do that over and over until you get the sound that you like. And of course, we can overdub as well. So I don't particularly like that one kick at the start on its own. That one there. So maybe we could do something about that. So again, I'm not going to use any quantize. I think that sounds infinitely more flavoursome and packed full of character compared to this. Okay. We're getting a bit more of a loose feel, we're getting those hi-hats sort of moving in and out of the grid. One of the snares was a little bit early as well, I think, which sounded quite nice. So yeah, I'm concentrating a lot on this technique at the moment. I'm not letting quantize take hold of me and decide what is going to go where. I'm using my own character, my own brain to put the drums where I want them to go. In a DAW like Ableton, it's a lot easier to nudge things around afterwards as well if you wanted to, because obviously you've got the whole grid which you can play around with. On a device like the SP404 Mark II, it's not as easy, but we've got the option to redo, we've got the option to overdub. So play around with that, concentrate on making drum loops without quantize. It may take you a bit of practice to get the timing right, and then once you get comfortable with that, you can really start messing around and doing things late and early and all kinds of things. So let's give it one more go, and I'm going to try and get some really drunken vibes in this one. I think I got a little bit fortunate with that one, but it kind of pulls itself together at the end of the loop. So let's hear that without the metronome. That's definitely going to get your head nodding a lot more than just this. I hear the difference now. So that's all I wanted to show you on this one really, guys. I'm trying to forget about quantize with my drums completely. I'm trying to get more character into my beats using my own personal clock, my own character, my own pad work. I'm just having a lot of fun with that and feel that the results are night and day. That pattern 1 compared to pattern 3, I think there's a world of difference, and I think it sounds much, much better. If you wanted to pick up the drums which I've used in this particular video, they're from Lo-Fi Drums Volume 5. There's links to all my drums in the description on spvids.com. Any of those purchases really help me to keep making videos like this, guys, so I would really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below, do you use quantize for any of your drums, or are you like me now where you just have completely disregarded it? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. But apart from that, guys, I will see you again in another video very, very soon.